Of OLOC. Today we've got Violent Tendencies versus Antimatter. I'm joined today by,
Ike 2327. How's it going?
I believe this is a member of VT, Felix H.
Most likely I can do like roster stuff.
That'd be cool. Would be cool.
Uh
Tapwater I know is
Felix H.
is he messaged me so I know he's Violent Tendencies.
I don't think Felix H is a member of either. Just let me make sure I'm not like missing somebody. If Felix H isn't a member of either team, let me just go over Antimatter's lineup one more time. No, he's not a member of either team, so just put him on whatever.
Okay, so the thing is Tapwater is supposedly a Smurf, and I'm not sure if they're
Um,
like, are we allowing people to not play on their mains?
if they're banned, I think is the rule. Should I like confirm or confirm with like? Just gotta make sure that stuff's legal so that a team doesn't get a map taken off just because we missed something.
Right.
Starting off on Paris, 2CP, obviously the most loved map type of any. Two of your members can't join. There's 4 open spec spots, so
Alright, let's have them add me and then.
can we just get like a ready from both teams? We can.
Yeah, I guess VT is still waiting on 2 members.
Yeah, but it only really matters if they're gonna swap, so we just need to make sure about that, I guess. See a lot of Arissa Bastion on Paris on defense.
Yeah, man, might be like my least favorite map in the game. I really don't like this map.
I know that in the game we played earlier, both teams ran bunker on defense, and both teams tried to run the Hammond on offense as a way of like booping the Arissa or somebody off of high ground. So we might see a little bit of that.
Whatever works.
Whatever works for you. Hopefully we can have a smooth game with no illegal lineups or illegal anything.
I'm not even gonna worry about it. If that's the case, then, like I said, they can figure all that stuff out. Besides, MJ's on one of the teams, so I know that if
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, that's what I was
he'll
thinking about.
he'll catch it. I'm sure VT would as well.
Had a little bit of. It seems that every game has to have some drama.
Every game that I do,
It wouldn't be as fun.
last game was crazy. Last game I
Oh yeah,
casted was crazy. It was like 30 minutes.
I was there. I was casting with you, I believe.
Yeah, you were.
Was it the one where like it was the Helheim antimatter game?
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a crazy one to say the least.
I think we'll.
Corey's here. Is Chubby here?
No,
Not
Chubby
yet.
hasn't added me. See, it feels good to like we're not waiting on us, we're waiting on the teams. Let me get the starting lineup from VT. MJ already messaged me the starting lineup for Antimatter, so we're good on that.
I don't think Antimatter has to worry about not having enough people. They have 10 people in the game right now.
Yeah, no, they always have enough.
They're always good about joining on time.
Yeah, they were here pretty much right on. I mean, actually, VT's gonna have 10 members as well, so it'll be a pretty full lobby.
Yep. Let's see if we're gonna see some different comps than we normally see on these types of maps. These very, I guess, Paris is quite open on first point.
Yeah, the thing with Paris is you got to get past the choke.
Yeah.
That's one of the harder chokes in the game, I think, because there isn't a great way.
The only other way of getting through the choke than just walking through it or going left is flying over as Farah over the roof. So Farah is also quite pretty normally used on offense on this map. A lot of spam damage to control the choke. Now second point is just a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's also a
Probably
rough run.
the weirdest one I've ever seen. There's so many openings. It's a big contrast from first point where there's only like one or two ways of getting through. There's about 8 different ways of pushing onto second point.
Alright, just double checking that both teams are ready, and we should be able to start. Oh, alright, we might have the first controversy in the game. Tapwater is a smurf for VT, and we may not be allowing those.
He deleted his main account.
Hmm. Okay, antimatter's ready.
Let's just get a confirmation from Violent Tendencies.
All right, both teams are ready.
We're good. Violent
First map.
Tendencies is going to be starting off on offense. Antimatter on the defense.
Now, nobody's actually told me. Is there any difference? Like, is there supposed to be any team that's starts one or the other?
Red is always offense.
Well, I meant, yeah, no, I know that. I meant like, is any team supposed to start on offense or defense? They've actually never told me that.
No, I don't think it really matters.
Okay. So, seeing the choke right here, it's so narrow. There's a couple rooms off to the side, but almost a death trap. I honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen any team successfully cut through those without just getting cut down.
Goats is going to be coming in from Antimatter.
That's a little different.
On defense.
That
I
is
think
a
I've ever
bit
seen
different.
Goats run. I don't think I've ever seen Goats run on defense. And we're going to see Ryan Diva, Doomfist, Junkrat, Baptiste, Lucio from Violent Tendencies. Just a mishmash of different comps for Violent Tendencies. And the only thing about Goats on this map is that the only high ground you can, like, if you drop down, the only person that can get up to high ground extremely quickly is the Lucio and the Diva. So, oh, they're going to be holding in the, I believe, oh, I've done this before.
This is kind of an odd
They're
strat.
going to wait for them to come out to the choke, and they're going to run over them. But they have been spotted. Can they get a pick? Morlocks is low, down goes Morlocks, but Poggy is also low, gets demacked. A very brawly type right now. Stabby is able to escape.
It's a very risky play coming from Antimatter right at the start. Kind of high risk, high reward.
Especially with the Baptiste Immortality field. He already does have the amp matrix. They just charge right in, down goes Raider to the Junkrat, the amplification matrix comes out. The Brig just kind of in the middle of the team. Violent Tendency is able to get 3. Down goes Bullet. Followed by Lieutenant Oof. The only one left on the point is the Diva. Violent Tendencies will take point 1.
That's a pretty solid take from Violent Tendencies.
Both teams have about the same amount of ults. Antimatter will be coming up on 6 ults, however, in just a moment. The thing is, Antimatter will have 3 support ults, and Violent Tendencies will only have 1. And then Talico comes out early. That's a lot of ultimates. Huge Riptire gets 2. Meteor Strike comes out, down goes Raider. Amplification comes in one more time from Falcon. Bomb comes in, Shatter comes out as well. Cancels the beat drop from Marley. Zarya making her way back to front. Coalescence comes out from Bullet. Kind of just staggering back to point now. Down goes Raider. MJ caught off to the side in the trap. Is he getting taken out? Yeah, the Lucio still contesting the point with the Hammond. Charge comes in, takes down MJ. Meteor Strike comes in, knocks the Lucio around a little bit. Down goes Bullet, down goes Marley. Reinhardt charges back in. Gets knocked off, of course, by the Lucio. Barely able to contest is the Diva. Be taken out, and there goes the first round to Violent Tendencies.
Pretty solid attack. They were able to use that momentum and the fact that they didn't really have to use any ults to take first point and just steamroll onto second.
Almost 5 minutes left.
Are we going to be able to see Antimatter come back with a similar success in attack?
They were able to split the Reinhardt from the rest of his team and take him out. And without a main tank, the team doesn't really have something to fight behind. They just had to kind of run around and try and get picks on their own.
They did have a pretty high damage output with the Doomfist and Junkrat as well. Let's see what we're gonna have from both teams. Violent Tendencies is already coming in here with a bit of an advantage.
Same comp coming in on defense for Violent Tendencies. The Doomfist and the Reaper for Antimatter.
Yeah, this comp from Violent Tendencies is very, very versatile.
Has a lot of poke damage with the Junkrat. Has a lot of insta damage from the Doomfist. Can almost one shot most of the people on Antimatter. Pharmacy teams be coming out from Antimatter along with the Monkey and Diva.
So they're running almost kind of like a pseudo dive into this. Far's gonna blast the Reinhardt off the high ground.
Antimatter very low. The mortality field gets destroyed, but down goes the Far to the Junkrat of all people.
The Winston's gonna try to get out. They're gonna regroup.
Just cleaned up.
Solid hold.
Antimatter's going to be coming up on 2 ults in this fight. Doomfist and the Baptiste.
They're going to switch off the Doomfist onto a Genji. Still rocking the pharmacy.
Looks to be a little confused right now, not sure what to do. They come in, they dive, Immortality Field comes out. Down goes the Baptiste though. MJ gets traded, but down goes Nexum. Riptire comes out, let's see if he can get anything.
Winston is going to be res.
Oh, takes out the Pharah. They may be able to turn this one around. Bomb comes out into the water, it seems. Trying to contest point. Antimatter getting back on that point because of their closer spawn. Antimatter will be able to take first point, but with about 30 seconds less time than Violent Tendencies had.
They are going to want to try to steamroll onto point with the ults. They do have some pretty... Yeah, there with the default, they've got a lot of ults that can just turn the favor of a fight pretty quickly.
Only 3 ults for Violent Tendencies to the 5 of Antimatter.
The good thing is they've got a couple ults they can use to draw out the beat drop. There it is, and now Genji can use Blade.
With the beat drop, bomb comes out, gets the Lucio. Down goes the Doomfist as well. Shatter comes in, takes down 2, but they can't capitalize on it. Barrage comes in, helps clean up.
They still have a Blade for whose daggers onto point. There it is.
There comes the Blade, trying to take down the Junkrat, takes out the Lucio as well. Reaper comes onto point. It's taken out. Violent Tendencies will have the time advantage for right now.
Swap on over to the Hammond for Violent Tendencies. Is going to swing around that middle statue and stall point.
Drops the mines. Can they capitalize on it? He takes down the Genji, but that's it. Diva gets demeched. Lucio still contesting point. Knocked off, dies, and that's it. Antimatter with only a couple of seconds less in the time bank. Seems to be a pretty back and forth match. The attackers getting the advantage in most of these.
Now, this is actually kind of surprising me because I always saw Paris as a really defense-favored map.
And most of the time it is. It's just that both teams running dive into the. Neither team is running bunker, which you most likely normally see on Paris. So the dive is able to just clean up because there's no high damage output from the Bastion to clean up. But Antimatter will, yes. Oh, I thought they were about to run Bastion on offense.
No, it looks like they're running the same comp as before.
Instead of the Junkrat, we're going to be seeing the Soldier from Violent Tendencies.
Yeah, the Baptiste just wasn't doing enough damage to be able to take out the Pharah, and that was their only real hit scan character. So the Pharah Mercy was just able to do whatever it wanted uncontested.
We're going to be having the combo with the Visor and the Amp Matrix. Double damage Visor can take out a Pharah quite easily. Lucio kind of wall riding over the top of the roof, doing a little bit of scouting.
Pharah's going to knock them off the high ground once more.
Almost the entire team gets knocked off, and that allows Antimatter to dive on them while they're coming back up. But down goes the Lucio. He gets revved up, but Raider dies as well. MJ
Baptiste
picks up Baptiste. Oh, and down goes Nexon, but MJ goes down, and Falcon goes down, and Genji goes down, Bullet goes down. Marley is contesting the point.
He got some free progress there.
They won't be able to capitalize on it since he's still contesting point. Maybe he will stagger himself, or maybe he'll just contest long enough for them to come back to point.
Looks like the Pharah is able to come back onto point as well. So is the Genji, the D.Va. The whole team is able to hop back onto point because Marley was able to stall long enough.
Marley, the hero despite for me, gets 2 boops as well. Quite interesting that the Reinhardt and the Zarya just stood there and watched Marley contest the point while his team was able to come back.
Looks like the Pharmacy are going to do some Vanguard work. You have a couple ults getting close for both sides.
Stabby swaps over to the Reaper.
You have a Reaper and an Ashe.
The Mortality Field comes down and gets taken down. Shatter comes in, takes down MJ. Ant Matrix and Beat used for Violent Tendencies. Antimatter, although they lost the fight, only used 1 while they got both of Violent Tendencies ults out. They will be able to have a grab for this fight, but the Beat is there to counter it.
Also, Raider is getting close to the D.Va bomb. So they're about to have 5 ults versus just the 1, possibly 2. It looks like Falcon may be able to farm up the Bob. I forgot what his ult was called.
Early Beat, Beat Blade comes in. Mortality Field comes out. Barrage comes out, takes down 1. Grab gets eaten. Huge plays from Raider.
No kills from the D.Va bomb, but as you said, he did eat up the Graviton. That's going to be a huge loss for Violent Tendencies.
Bob comes in, let's see if he can turn this fight around. Inside of the bubble, so that the damage he was trying to put onto the far was blocked.
That was a really good boot from Marley to put him inside of that bubble where he isn't really able to have much of an impact on the fight.
He was just more of a distraction than a damage dealer right there.
He was able to stagger point though.
Getting cleaned up right now. Stabby, the other one on, gets taken out. Next time we'll be able to make it back on the point as the Lucio gets taken out though. Moira comes in, gets taken out with barely as they touch point. And I think that's Falcon able
Falcon's
to
gonna be
touch
able
will
to
get
stagger.
taken out. And that's
Almost,
it. Morlocks isn't able to touch, about an inch away from the point.
almost gave his team enough time to get back onto point.
About 1 minute and 20 seconds left for Antimatter. See if Violent Tendencies can cap both points as well.
See if Antimatter learned from their previous defense and found a way to counter this comp. We are going to see the bunker comp come out from Antimatter, it looks like.
Very strong, able to control all the sight lines. The Bastion is able to take out any far that comes over the top of the roof. A lot of spam damage into the choke with the Roadhog, can get up a pick basically with that hook.
Also, you have that McCree. The Doomfist has been doing a lot for the side of Violent Tendencies, so having that McCree to be able to CC and stop the Doomfist and make him pretty much a free pick, as well as the Lucio.
Lots of CC, lots of high damage coming out from Antimatter right here. That halt hook also extremely dangerous. Even the halt in general able to pull people into the Bastion's LOS. Mortality field comes out early and down goes the Doomfist as soon as he tries to jump in. They're trying to rotate around to the left side, but with one down, I don't know how they're going to do that.
They are able to get some damage, kind of holding that left side, but
The mortality field is out already. Doomfist dives in and gets taken out immediately once again. I don't think the Doomfist is going to be able to get any value. He's dove in twice and hasn't gotten anything, but they decide to stay on it.
we might just be hoping for that chance of a pick, but
Down goes Nexon before the fight even starts.
as well as the
Down
Junkrat.
goes, I'm not going to say that name because, yeah, no. Down goes Falcon. They're still trying to hold on to that left side, but it's not doing anything for them. MJ uses the whole hog to try and clean up over here. Able to melt through the Rhine shield and take him out. Gets a double kill. Down goes Stabby for the third time. 5 ults coming up for Antimatter right here. While 4 for Violent Tendencies. Stabby swaps over to the Genji.
Both teams doing a great job here of playing as a unit rather than any real single player coming out and making huge plays.
Bomb comes in. Bullet goes down to the fire strike through the amplification matrix. Down goes MJ.
He's able to take out the Genji, but I'm not sure if Oof is really going to be able to do much else. No, he is going to go down, and that should be first point for Violent Tendencies.
They will only have 1 coming up on 2 more ults for them, while Antimatter has 3 of their own. The Bastion's gonna get a lot of damage boost from this, from the supercharger. Swap off the Baptiste onto the Lucio for Antimatter.
Violent Tendencies definitely taking a route that it would be much more beneficial for them. You don't really want to challenge down the center choke if a Bastion is in play. Oh,
Blake comes in from Savvy, gets a double kill. Violent Tendencies Getting almost a team kill. The Mercy isn't able to get off the res. Genji is able to touch. Riptide comes out just to take him out. Lucia will be able to touch. MJ coming in on the ball.
He was able to
Trying to
knock
stall
that
as
charge
long as
out of the way.
Bomb comes in. Doesn't get anyone, but forces them off point. Gets them more ult percentage. But Poggy gets 2 on the Mei. And I think that Antimatter is stalled long enough to be able to turn this around. Morlock's getting frozen, able to stay alive for now. B-drop comes out from Nexon. Diva gets frozen and booped away. Shatter comes in, takes down 2, but they're not able to capitalize on it. Violent Tendencies trying to stagger onto this point, just constantly getting taken out. Still the staggers are coming in.
That was a close loss, but at the same time, that was a kind of a bad idea from Violent Tendencies, since they just wasted a lot of their own time. They might have another team fight.
Antimatter will be coming up on all of their ultimates this fight, while Violent Tendencies may have the bomb.
One more
This
team
Blizzard
fight.
probably gonna mess them up. No support ultimates to counter it.
A lot of ults to just stagger them. The mines are going to be dropped right into the back line.
Primal comes in, bomb goes out, doesn't get anything. Blizzard comes in as well as the Blade and the Coalescence, everything coming out just to help clean up. Beat drop comes in, and that's it. Antimatter will take map number 1.
That will be the first defense win, too.
Stabby does have play of the game.
Yeah, this was a very good blade.
Had very little health as well. I always like seeing the play of the games where the team that got play of the game loses the fight.
Yeah, that was the really prolonged stagger fight.
See if we've got any subs in for either team.
Alright. Our next map is gonna be Numbani. Oh man. Alright. Cuban for Corey. Alright. Not sure if we have any other.
See if Antimatter has any subs. I will be right back. Hold the fort down for me while I'm gone. I'll take about a minute.
I'm sure I'll manage. Seems as though. No? Score is currently 1-0 in favor of Antimatter. Just waiting on the go-ahead from both teams to start map 2. J and Draz for Oof and Poggy. Okay, Bullet is gonna be swapped out for Yiggs. Basically changing their entire lineup. Okay. Okay. Antimatter is ready. Waiting on VT. Waiting on the go ahead.
We have not started the game. What's going on?
A whole bunch of sub-ins for Antimatter, and
Uh,
somebody's taking a piss on VT.
okay.
Oh man. Alright, both teams are ready, let's go. If I could get down there, oh my god. Next map is Numbani.
Numbani has been absent from competitive play recently, if I remember correctly. Haven't seen this map in a minute.
Now, Paris being one of my least favorite maps, this is one of my favorite maps in the game.
This map has a lot of different comps you can run on. You can run Winston and Diva Dive, you can run Bunker, you can run Reinhardt, you can run all different kinds of things on this map.
A lot of different angles, a lot of different high ground.
So you're going to be seeing triple DPS defense from Antimatter. And the Doofus, I don't think the Torb is going to be played, but who knows?
I don't know. Molten Core is a really strong ability, and then Torb's new ult is going to be able to zone off an entire high ground if they're trying to push up, like, you know, on stairs possibly. Just zone off that entire high ground and basically give them a free push in.
Let's see. Swaps over to the Roadhog.
Onto the Zarya.
This Wrecking Ball from Antimatter is going to have a lot of trouble with the amount of CC and stuns that Violent Tendencies is rolling out with the hook, and the flashbang can lead to the Hammond getting killed.
There's no hook anymore, it's a Zarya.
Oh, I didn't see that. Well, that's my bad. I was kind of looking at the ball when that was happening. So, and oh, down goes the Genji. They don't get the res off Stab. He dives on him while the Mercy's discorded. Zenyatta goes down. The res comes in. They trade the McCree for the Pharah.
Oh no.
Violent Tendencies able to roll over.
Standing still in the back, looks like we might be about to have a DC.
Oh, Jaybird's DCing again.
Draz is going to be able to dive back onto point. Pharah is coming back as well. They might be able to hold this fight back again.
Pharah does have all. High Noon comes out and takes him out before he can use it. Down goes Drazidic as well, but MJ picks off Stabby.
You still
back and forth fight here for first. MJ extremely low. Down he goes. The support's the only one left, and I think we are going to have a DC for Jaybird in a second.
Yeah, he's currently in spawn, not moving.
Yeah. That's the second DC we've had today on this map.
Unlucky.
Maybe new. Oh, and there he goes. Corey gets taken out though, so the fight is even for now at least. The res does come in.
Yeah. That is going to make it a very rough map for Antimatter, as they're going to have to go against Violent Tendencies 5v6.
Pharah is getting targeted by Falcon. Draz able to take out Stabby in the back, but down goes the Pharah, and the res isn't able to get isn't able to come off. Draz does get Corey as well, but down goes Molly in the back line. Yig's extremely low as well. Out comes the Deadeye, takes down Draz. Yig's kind of caught out in the open, able to get away though. 4 ults about to be online for Antimatter though. Five minutes left to cap third point. Antimatter will be taking the high ground.
like the Pharah is waiting for an ambush, but the Genji's gonna be up there. I'm not sure that's the distance you want to be fighting the Genji.
Now comes Barrage, takes down one, but gets taken out as well. Rez may come in. Beat Drop comes in the back line. Only gets 2, I believe. Rez does come in and Marley gets taken out. Another high noon.
Looks like he's gonna cancel it early.
MJ going around the back line, trying to stall, gets taken out though. Trance comes in from Zenyatta. Marley and Yiggs trying to contest, but the grab comes in to trap both of them. What a huge grab from Corey. The mines do come in. Warlock's trying to sweep them all the way with this shield. MJ the only one contesting right now.
He's gonna go down.
Augie able to touch point, but I think that's it.
Jaybird is
Jaybird
gonna be
does
able to
join
join
back.
back. Let's see what we can bring back. If Antimatter's going to be able to kind of bring it back a bit. Falcon has been able to do a lot on the McCree this game so far. He was able to farm up, I think it was 3 or 4 high noons. They're gonna rush right up right side on the underground and push right onto point.
Stabby going in to meet them. Poggy uses Wraith Farm, but down goes Stabby to Yiggs. Next one kind of gets caught out in the open, but Corey's able to take down Draz. Diva is low for Violent Tendencies. Nexon is extremely low as well. Down goes Falcon. The Antimatter able to turn this one around. Down goes Stabby once again. Charge comes in onto Morlocks. MJ teabagging. We saw that. Falcon is able to take out Jaybird, and no res can come in.
Now Draz did die pretty early on in that fight, so he wasn't able to build up very much charge for
Corey jumps in, will have the primal. Uses it, starts knocking people around. Shatter comes in, knocks down 2. MJ gets charged by, what was that charge animation? Am I the only one that saw that?
I think so. I didn't catch it on my camera.
He was running while charging him. MJ with his second teabag of the match.
4 going on 5 ults for Antimatter. And then the 3 for...
3 up for Violent Tendencies. We're gonna keep an MJ teabag counter. We're up at 2 right now.
The fact that he's
Pretty
only done that
costly.
many.
Down comes the meteor strike.
Looks like he used that ult just to get back to his team.
Grab comes
There's the
in,
grab.
catches 2. Here comes the dragon. We'll take down 2 and 3.
That might have been play of the game.
'Cause that's the most important thing.
Win or lose, it's about play of the game. Falcon's
Antimatter
gonna
will be
run
rolling.
back to his team, but it's gonna give Antimatter a lot of time to push that.
Down goes Falcon. OLOC will have the shatter here. Will he be able to do anything with it? Takes down 1. They won't be able to capitalize on it. Hog gets 2 with the Death Blossom. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left for Antimatter.
Antimatter's showing what they can do when it's 6v6. Actually did it faster than what Violent Tendencies was able to do. We're doing Genji Hanzo defense again. Pretty standard 2-2-2 coming in from Violent Tendencies. Both teams actually. See Marley and Jaybird pushed up kind of ahead to get some poke damage at the start of the fight. Looks like Violent Tendencies is going to be challenging that top right high ground.
The mortality field does come out. Oh, he cut off a little on his own, gets taken out, but they return it and kill Corey, and the res comes in. He decides to charge into the entire enemy team and gets the D.Va out of mech. Antimatter will win this fight and will stagger the D.Va. Big stagger.
And eventually killing her.
Dragon does come out.
It's going to slow them
From
down.
Jaybird.
Looks like they're going to try again for that top high ground.
They will have ults coming into this though. Draz does have the blade.
Yiggsy almost with the Valkyrie.
And comes in, so does the blade. Takes down 1, beat comes in. Draz does go down. Shatter comes in, knocks down 2. Charge comes in, takes down MJ. They do get the res off, but down goes Poggy as well. High Noon coming in, takes down 2. The grab, I don't know if that grab was really worth it, but MJ, he would have taken down 2 before getting taken out himself. Marley and Draz are the only ones on point. Poggy coming back. Shadow comes in, knocks down 3. Can they capitalize? No, not yet at least. Poggy does go down. Marley's still contesting. They're getting taken out by that flashbang. They do get the res onto Draz before Yiggsy gets taken down. Draz still contesting point. Violent Tendencies gets a tick. And I think they finally are able to cap this point.
Yeah, it looks like Antimatter's going to hold up and get and group up for another team fight. But they were able to waste a lot of time. No kills from the dragon.
Shatter comes in. Bomb takes down MJ. I want to see more locks teabag MJ.
He would be the one to do it.
I want some toxicity. I want some drama. He comes in as well as behind him, takes down 2 again. Yiggsy goes down to the blade. The beat comes in, all they have to do is not C9. They will be rolling to about halfway through second point before a contest can come in. Jaybird sitting there waiting with the Sonic.
Draz gonna switch over to the Tracer. Almost a hammer down.
Dragon comes in from Jaybird. Doesn't pick anyone off, but they are split. Yiggs pops the Valk. Augie does have the Shatter. Able to pin Falcon because of the boop. The Shatter is blocked, however. The Shatter is cancelled for Corey, however, and I think Antimatter, finally able to stabilize, will stop them here. About halfway through third point. Pretty respectable push.
Not a bad push. Oh, the payload is still over here where it got stopped, so that's cool. Both teams have been running some pretty classic team comps. Another triple DPS comp from Antimatter. Looks like it's going to be a bunker comp coming in from Violent Tendencies. Looks like they're going to take that top left.
Bunker comp. We'll be able to control most of the sight lines. Most teams that I've seen have decided to go around far left.
There's the
Try
Sonic
and
Arrow.
push them down.
They're going to know what comp that VT is running now.
Triple DPS. Lots of poke and spam damage for both teams. That Hanzo going to be able to build up Dragon Strike pretty quickly. And they will be flanking around the left side.
MJ is going to miss the slam.
Down goes the Hog though, but Stabby able to kill Marley in return. The res does come in and down goes Poggy as well. BT will be able to hold this one. I want to see them teabag MJ. Come on, do it. You won't. Stagger most likely will come on here on Draz unless he can get away. CC will barely be able to. Gets the health pack. Yiggs and Jaybird still on the side. Jaybird is able to take out Falcon. MJ drops in. The Bastion's in the corner. Jaybird able to prevent the res. The blade comes in from Draz, able to break this bunker comp. It's a 3K. 2 ults up for Antimatter and about 3 up for Violent Tendencies. They swap off of the Bastion and the Roadhog. They will be running double off tank, but Yiggsy will fall. MJ uses the mines and is extremely low. Draz goes down as well as MJ. Jaybird does use the Dragon Strike.
It's gonna kind of zone off Violent Tendencies, give Antimatter a chance to push the payload up some.
But Jaybird goes down as well. Morlox comes in with the Riptide. Let's see if he can get anything with it. This Riptide going around behind, gonna drop from up top most likely. Gonna make full circle. Doesn't get anything. MJ did have the bubble for it, I believe.
They have got the payload around the corner.
There goes Falcon once again.
It is kind of funny to see this trade fragging between Jaybird and Falcon.
And there's another trade popping up at the exact same time. With Antimatter getting the advantage right now. Marley extremely low, but they're not able to finish him off. They're just going to give up second point. They're going to have to hold around this corner. Only a minute left for Antimatter. Coming down to the wire once again.
That's still a minute more than Violent Tendencies had as well, though.
Yeah. Poggy does get booped around and Mortality Kill comes out. Goes down almost immediately. Poggy goes down. Let's see if they can prevent the res. Blade comes in from Draz, gets 1. Drav gets in, he gets 2. Down goes Stabby to the Dragon, and Poggy gets res. Reinhardt gets charged into the background. Shatter comes in. Corey goes down. But the Morlock's Riptide gets 2. Can they turn it around? Morlock's gets a 3rd. Yiggs and Poggy, the only ones on point. Draz coming in to help them get away, and they will be able to.
They might be able to get up for one more team fight. They're going to have to hurry. That Riptire might have just saved Antimatter the game.
Though.
Or, I'm sorry, Violent Tendencies the game.
MJ does have the grab. Marley does have the beat drop. Stabby comes in with the blade. B drop comes in response. He's not able to get anything yet. Shatter comes in. Doesn't get anything. Poggy charges that game guy all the way to the back, but gets taken out. Stabby picked off Jaybird with... out comes the grab. Let's see if they can follow it up. No! Violent Tendencies! Down goes Morlocks.
It's going to cancel the
Down
Riptire.
goes MJ. The only one left on point is Draz. And Violent Tendencies takes map number 2. Back and forth game right now. These teams are equally matched. Jaybird will get play of the game, the most important thing. Huh. How funny is it that both times there was play of the game, it was for the team that lost. Exactly as you predicted, that was the play you said would get play of the game.
That is a rough loss for Antimatter as they got a DC on the very first round.
And it looked like they would be able to turn it around, but she gets shut down at the very end. See if we have any subs coming in.
Alright, next next map is going to be Oasis. Slider for Poggy. And bullet back in for Yigsy.
Do you have any people you think early on have been showing something that might lead them to be the MVP?
Um, I would say possibly from Antimatter. I'm not sure. Nobody. I don't know if anybody's necessarily any one player has necessarily had like a star status kind of play. They all seem to have been doing just about equally well. VT's around the same. I feel like you might be able to give it to Falcon.
Those high noons have been pretty big for him.
He's also been able to flex to like a variety of roles and do very well on all of them. So, all right. Looks like Violent Tendencies is ready. Just need the go ahead from Antimatter. No go ahead yet from Antimatter.
Oh, Morlocks did call out MJ in general chat for the teabagging.
Okay, now waiting on something from both teams.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Okay.
What is going on in general chat?
Oh, it's just I don't know who cares. This is bullshit. Just just teams talking shit. Okay, all good. Map 3, Numbani.
No, wait, no, it's Oasis.
Oh, Oasis. Yeah, my bad. The last map was Numbani. Alright.
What did Nixon just say in freaking general chat?
What if we kissed in Minecraft Xbox 360 edition? Something like that.
He goes, what if we kissed in the Minecraft Xbox, no, 2010 Minecraft Xbox 360 edition tutorial map?
Those were the days.
Yeah, my team likes to do Minecraft team bonding after games.
If it works, it works.
Marley does have the pay to win emote on Lucio.
Looks like Antimatter's gonna assault that right room. The Reaper Junkrat comp coming in from Violent Tendencies is gonna take out Slider, and Bullet's gonna go down.
And Marley, Violent Tendencies will be able to take the first cap.
And they're gonna hold these two rooms right now. Or, I'm sorry, these two doorways.
Falcon already has Ant Matrix. Jaybird almost at the blade. They will be rotating around the right side, looking for a diveable target, probably waiting for that immortality field to go down. And exactly as I say, Jed, they dive in. Blade comes in from Jaybird. Valve does come in from Nexon. The bomb comes in, but it's too late. It's, oh my goodness, a triple bomb completely turns the fight around. Marley does get res, but it's too late. Most likely, Bullet goes down as well. Jaybird will be cleaned up.
Now, there had to be some kind of mistake going on there from Antimatter. Surely they knew that bomb was coming.
Because they were running the Winston, they didn't have any form of shield tank to block it, and they were running the D.Va, so there was no bubbles. Jaybird already at another Dragon Blade. Guys does have the Barrage. Morlock's at the Riptire, as well as Stabby at the Death Blossom.
Riptire comes out.
Who's he going for?
And Death Blossom.
Going for the Mercy, seems that it's too late. Slider goes down, Stabby goes down, and Draz goes down. Jaybird wastes his blade, doesn't get anything. Ant Matrix comes out. Slider gets rezzed. He comes out from Marley to contest the point. Slider getting booped around by the Junkrat, goes down to Nexon. Marley, the only one able to contest point right now, has to hold for his team to be able to get back. And he will do that. Jaybird able to touch point, and Draz is there as well on the Hanzo. MJ at 70 on the grab. Let's see if he can contest long enough to get it. Seems not, and I think round one goes to Violent Tendencies. What did Violent Tendencies do so well that Antimatter wasn't even able to get a cap?
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to change up their plan of attack.
This is something I've noticed quite a lot throughout this match, is that the fact that both of these teams prefer to run a Mercy most of the time. The Mercies are getting caught in crossfire while trying to fly from target to target. Antimatter rolling out with the Moira and Zenyatta. Violent Tendencies has the Mercy and Baptiste.
Baptiste is going to be taken out by the Zenyatta. And the Reaper flanks around. Looks like he almost took out both supports, but he's going to be taken out by Draz there right before he's able to kill Bullet. The DPS of Antimatter pushed up very far ahead, trying to stagger them back into spawn. They're going to fall back now, it seems.
Dragon comes out from Jaybird, splitting the team in the middle. Stabby goes down to Bullet.
Riptire's gonna come over the top, and he singles out Draz. Bullet is gonna use the Coalescence to keep her team alive and do some damage to the other.
Falcon does have the Ant Matrix. Shatter comes out, knocks down two, but he gets booped into the tree with the charge. Bullet does put down Falcon though. Draz comes in onto him. Still haven't turned the point yet. MJ contesting Draz does have that high noon. It gets D Matrix to save Stabby, and MJ the only one on point.
Violent Tendencies able to take the point. Antimatter's gonna regroup.
Stabby maybe you've been in. Where was Stabby at? Jaybird take down Nexon as well. Draz does go down. Out comes the tire. Gets a 2K. As well as Slider going down. The bomb doesn't get anything. The trance does come out from Marley.
It's gonna be two.
Morlocks has been saving most of these team fights with that Riptire.
It's gonna be two alts used. Jaybird and Draz are gonna go down and be staggered. Reinhardt's gonna get picked off early on by the Junkrat mine.
Dragon comes in a little too late, gets eaten. A waste of both grab and dragon. One fight territory here for Antimatter.
That's gonna be a detrimental misplay from Antimatter.
That was their win condition, and now they won't have it for this fight. More like with another Riptire. Not able to get anything before it explodes. MJ on point. Just taking out. Corey just swinging on. Big Shatter knocks down both supports. The only one on point right now is Draz, who won't even be able to touch. Map number 3 goes to Violent Tendencies. Violent Tendencies, who has been the underdog in their last 2 maps, has been upsetting these top teams.
Looks like our next map is going to be Junkertown. Do you think we'll see a team pull up a pirate ship strat?
Most likely. It's very strong on attack.
Alright, next map, Junkertown. Now, do you know what our map 5 map is? Because it's very...
Nepal.
It's Nepal? Alright. Alright, see if we have any sub-ins. Okay, who is Kawaii?
That's Raider.
Raider is... Okay. So we got... Oh my god. Raider for Slider. And then we got Oof for Draz. And then Poggy for Jay.
Yiggs wants to play.
So, looks like either Marley or Bullet might be swapped out. Possibly Bullet for Yiggs. Okay, Violent Tendencies is good.
Just waiting on what's the situation with Antimatter.
Let me. Okay, it looks like Antimatter, both teams are ready. See if we'll end up getting the pirate ship strat going. And if so, how the opposing team will be able to counter that pirate ship strat. Pretty much been a dominant strategy on this map since near pretty much its release.
It seems that will be the triple DPS pirate ship with the Sombra coming in for Antimatter.
Yeah, they're expecting the pirate ship, and that is going to do very well versus the Bastion Torb that are going to be on point.
I've seen Bastion Bunker, I've seen Torb Bunker, I've seen Bastion Torb, I mean not Bunker, pirate ship, but I don't think I've ever seen Bastion Torb Junkrat pirate ship.
I mean, the Junkrat with the Rip Tires has really been causing a lot of trouble for Antimatter. I mean, it's basically a free kill on whatever target you choose.
I think the MVP for Violent Tendencies is swapping for me.
Yeah, it might be Morlocks.
They will get 3 picks already in the first 20 seconds of the round. Raider also demeched.
Yeah, that was somewhat of a questionable strat.
Hoggy gets taken down. Interesting shield placement here. Spamming that little room that Antimatter's in, they may be able to touch, and they will. But the immortality field is already up.
Yeah, the Bastion was able.
Anti does come on.
The Bastion was hacked and was forced to get off a point, but he's set back up.
The amount of spam damage that Violent Tendencies has is just tearing through that shield of the Orisa, so they swap over to the Reinhardt, and half of their team gets the bad spawn, it seems. Yes, they are split. 3 on second point, 3 coming back from spawn, so they have to play this safe. Five ults coming in for Violent Tendencies, where only 1 is up for Antimatter.
It's gonna be
Big
a huge
anti coming in, the Orisa low, but the Immortality Field comes in to save them. Bomb and Riptire come in. Bomb gets 2. Riptire doesn't have anyone to kill.
I don't think MJ had his shield there. He wasn't able to block the Diva bomb.
Bullet and Poggy will be able to escape. But VT already barely not at the capture point yet, and they get it without a recontest. If I could English correctly. The only ults up for Violent Tendencies are both of their damage boosting ultimates. With the damage boost from the Mercy, will tear through that Reinhardt shield when used together.
Now, do all of those actually stack?
Okay,
I thought there was
a... Mercy stacks.
Yeah, I think there's a cap to how much damage can stack.
I think if you do Nano Boost, Supercharger, and Amplification, it still stacks.
Bastion's gonna go down to the Genji Blade.
Comes in. The only thing it gets, still enough for Antimatter to finally get a foothold. Oof does get taken out as he was caught in Morlock's trap. Anti comes in, makes 2 of the members of Violent Tendencies not be able to get healed. Morlock's will have his tire this fight. Let's see if we can get another game-changing tire.
There's the Amplification Matrix, gonna force Antimatter to kind of back up.
Both tanks caught in the grab. Oh my goodness, it's Poggy this time that has the big rip tire. Gets a triple kill.
It's gonna be a huge kill for a huge turn of the tides for Antimatter.
Falcon swaps off of the Baptiste, goes over to Lucio. Next on pops the Val. Shadow comes in from MJ, gets blocked, but Stabby gets slept. Gets pinned by MJ, and 2 of the members of Violent Tendencies are antied. Teabag comes in from Oof. Quite interesting. Some back and forth teabagging.
Oof has been making some really big plays on the Genji this game.
We'll have another Nano Blade up. Nexon swaps off the Mercy onto the Brigitte. Not a lot of healing, and Morlock gets taken down early. The Brig and Lucio doesn't provide that much healing, and with the amount of damage that Antimatter is throwing at them, they might not be able to push on to this point.
Genji and Zarya able to peel onto that rip tire and stop from being able to kill anybody.
Five, almost 6 ults up for Antimatter.
It really seemed like Violent Tendencies was banking on that pirate ship strat to work. Now that it's been countered, you see they're kind of scrambling. Poggy comes in with the Riptire.
The Junkrats each getting a kill. Oof does get a kill on a Savage with the blade. And Nexon goes down. Yes, it does seem that Violent Tendencies is really relying on that pirate ship to push through. And now they're just constantly making swaps to different heroes, trying to find an answer. A lot of ults coming out.
Yeah. No. Violent Tendencies is gonna grab, but MJ is gonna use that hammer down to keep them from being able to capitalize on it at all.
Murloc's Riptide gets taken out, but 2 go down for Antimatter. Falcon does get antied. Charge comes in from MJ, boops Corey back. But down goes Morlock's. Poggy has been winning the Battle of the Junkrats recently. Corey the only one caught in the grab, but they will be able to kill him. With only 30 seconds left on the clock. Violent Tendencies has to come up with something to cap this last point. Morlocks goes over to the soldier.
Shatter's gonna be blocked. Antimatter doing a really good job of reacting to and being able to flex into a comp that was able to stop Violent Tendencies. Now the question is Antimatter going to run the same pirate ship strat that we saw from Violent Tendencies?
And an even bigger question, if they do, will they be able to pull it off as well as Violent Tendencies did? It pushed them all the way through second point.
No, they aren't going to use the pirate ship strat. Now they aren't even going to go on to point at first. That is going to be a huge anti-nade.
Is that the first Widow we've seen this game?
No, Draz was Widow on Numbani.
Oh yeah. The second Widow we've seen this game. Stabby extremely low.
Antimatter doing a great job of making a huge amount of space for their Widow to just take free shots at whoever she wants.
But their front line isn't doing as well. MJ does waste his shatter as he gets taken out. Corey gets taken off, but Stabby gets rezzed. But there's no shield for this Bastion to sit behind. The Widow has open reign right now as the Reinhardt is slowly coming back. Poggy does go down once again. Falcon low.
Starting to kind of get dove now by the Diva.
Oof, low in the back. The charge does come in onto Corey. Corey does shatter that. The supply crate. What did it do to you?
MJ's gonna get rezzed.
And he's able to kill the Diva right before she gets back in mech. Falcon goes down as well. And Antimatter will be able to cap first point. Oh, Contest comes in and Stagger comes in on the Nexon.
It's looking very likely that we're going to be getting a map 5.
No, please. Did you check your DMs?
Yeah, I did. Definitely a game
Corey
on the
takes
longer
down Raider,
side.
though. Man, all of our games are long. Oof does go down to the Bastion, though. It seems Violent Tendencies is having a better time countering this, the attack from Antimatter than they did countering Violent Tendencies. Bomb, Ant Matrix, and Valk coming in for Violent Tendencies. And Antimatter almost at all of their ults, with Raider at about 70 on that graph. The Devo does get slept. Nano boost. 3 ultimates used. Bomb comes in, doesn't pick off any, doesn't get anything. 2 kills come in for Antimatter. Let's see if they can win this fight without using any more ultimates, as they have already used 3. And we'll have Pulse Bomb. Okay, never mind. You guys said they will have Pulse Bomb in the Graviton Surge for this next fight, but they did use the Pulse Bomb.
Well, the thing with the Pulse Bomb is it's very easy to quickly charge up the Pulse Bomb. So next team fight, it's very likely Boggy could still end up with a Pulse Bomb.
Although Violent Tendencies was held at the door for most of third point, they did push it more than halfway around the third point.
Marley is going to take out the Tracer on the Ana. That's not usually what you'd expect to see.
Arcast spectating, boosted caster forehead. We, of course, are the superior casters.
Sure, man. I don't care.
Nah, I was just playing around with him. Me and him joke a lot. Tracer is in the back line of Antimatter. He'll not be able to escape with his life. Corey comes in with a charge. Nexon was sitting down, emoting. Shadow comes in, knocks down 2. Morlocks gets a triple kill with the blade, however. Will they be able to turn this side around? Raider goes down. Morlocks goes down as well. MJ goes down. Oggy sticks the Hammond with the Pulse Bomb, but isn't able to kill him. And that blade from Morlocks might have just saved them.
We still do have plenty of time to push the payload, not a very far distance.
Hoggy swaps over to the McCree. Raider at 75% on that grab. Harley does have the nano boost. Ultron comes in. Takes down Bullet. The fight might already be over. Teabag MJ. Teabag MJ. Oof will get staggered.
Nano boost and the dragon. ready on the side of Antimatter.
The Hammond will be coming up on mines in just a second. MJ doing a quick 360 trying to get rid of all those mines. Grab, beats the grab over there. And I think Antimatter might just cap it here. Oh! Oh, I just saw where the mines were. Feels bad. And we will be going to map 5. Yay.
And, what is map 5?
Nepal.
Hell yeah.
We probably get to play the game from that ending Dragon Strike.
Alright, map 5.
Yahoo! I'm so ready for this. I'm pumped.
On the bright side, these control point maps usually pretty quick.
Let's see if Violent Tendencies can roll just like they did on the last control map. See if we have any subs coming in from either side.
Alright, looks like Violent Tendencies is ready.
Let's get a confirmation from MJ to start our last map of the day.
There
Now we
were,
have 3 games today.
yeah, there are 3 games today.
How many more games are there?
I know we ended up getting a bye this week because Fluid isn't a thing.
Yeah, 3 of those, like, there are not going to be any more games this week.
Looks like they were all today. How about it?
So this is our last map of the week, as well as of the day, because they still have Puffers, Selfless, and Fluid listed on the schedule. Oh, Arcas. Did he not hear me say I'm joking?
Alrighty. Last map of the day. Both teams putting up pretty crazy fights against each other. No, surprisingly, Morlox isn't on the Junkrat. He's gonna opt for Soldier.
Have a tradition when casting map 5s. You just gotta be like, go goes forehead. Two kills already for Violent Tendencies. And they're just rolling through them. Corey jumps into the back line, gets pinned. Will they be able to kill him? Seems not.
Gonna be a pretty
Bullet
decisive
does
victory.
go down as well. Violent Tendencies takes a strong first control. Corey goes low. MJ does go down, however. They might be able to get the res off on them, and they do. A lot of ults already online for Violent Tendencies, and they use all of them. MJ goes down once again. Hoggy goes down to Stabby's blade. Bullet does pop the Valk.
Antimatter so
Morlox
far not even
does.
really being able to get a foothold.
Things are getting picked off before they can even get on the point. Already at 50% for Violent Tendencies. Antimatter will be rolling up on some ults for this fight. Corey does use the Primal trying to displace the team, and it seems he will be able to do that. Shatter comes out and beat. Bomb does come out. Can he get anything? Down goes Marley. Blade does come out, however, for Antimatter. The two Genjis battling, and Oof will win with the power of the Dragon Blade. Revs does come in on to Marley, and Antimatter finally, at about 73%, will be able to take this away from Violent Tendencies.
Morlox with the tac visor, but Poggy has the Death Blossom.
Antimatter did build up some ultimates, and that's why they were able to win that last fight.
Bullet is going to have the Valkyrie, and Falcon just got the Amplification Matrix as well, so they can combo that with the Soldier ult for some massive damage.
Dive comes in, Immortality Field comes in early. They will probably destroy it right here. Visor comes out. They get Oof. Matrix comes in. Down goes Marley. Augie does use the Death Blossom, only gets one. Blade comes in from Stabby, gets one. But Poggy gets another, and Raider picks off Falcon. MJ comes in with a Shatter, doesn't get anything. Rez comes in on the core, but Stabby goes down on the left side. Rez comes in on the Poggy. Corey uses the Primal once again. Knocks himself off the map.
How did he manage to not knock off the Roadhog, but knock himself off?
That's hilarious. MVP.
Yeah, somebody in one of the scrim chats, 11 out of 10 Primal.
Oh, that's amazing.
Beat dropping Blade. Not really close to many ults for Violent Tendencies.
I said 11 out of 10. Oh, it was Talon. Blade comes in for Oof. Doesn't get anything just yet. But Raider's able to clean up on Falcon. Both supports down for Violent Tendencies. Antimatter most likely will win this fight and take map number 1. Hoggy just adds insult to injury, just throwing out the Death Blossom. They don't get the res off, and Nexon just gets charged. Down goes Falcon, and that map number 1 goes to Antimatter. They're able to turn it around with the help of Corey's Primal Rage. Let's see, what will we get next? Sanctum. Boop Central.
Oh my god. My cat just scared the shit out of me.
Goats coming in for Violent Tendencies. See, they listen to my advice. Just go Goats forehead.
Is it going to be enough though?
Down goes MJ. Rez does come in. Corey almost gets booped off the map by the Pharah. Down goes Raider and Poggy. Oof almost gets another boop. Still floating over point. MJ kills himself, most likely so he doesn't get staggered, but down goes Marley. Oof does get a boop on the Nexon, but will it be enough for them to be able to push back onto point? Corey just jumps right in. Has the Primal Rage trying to knock MJ off the map. The fuck is he doing?
Oh.
He gets the boop as MJ charges through the garage, takes down one, gets killed. Augie gets the D-Mech on the D.Va, and down goes the D.Va. Nexon at 1 health, dies to Poggy. The Reaper tearing through the ranks of Violent Tendencies.
It looks like they're going to be able to recap this point.
If they actually
stand on it, yeah. They're going to push up forward to try to give themselves some space.
We're having a little war in the match chat.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Oh, we're having a war on the point. Violent Tendencies able to come out on top. Down goes Oof. Bullet follows shortly after. BT able to swip it. I just try to say switch and swap at the same time, and it came out as swip. So we're gonna forget that.
4 ults on both sides. Raider coming up on a
Antimatter
Graviton.
is closer to there. There's a Nexon just kills himself. A lot of ultimates. Will it be able to amount to anything? No kills. For many of those ultimates, Oof finally gets 2 kills. There's been a lot of interesting, like, jumping off the mat from the side of Violent Tendencies.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with Moira. Why she like she
Maybe
fell
we
off
can
on
get
accident,
like some.
or?
Can we get like an instant replay? Augie waiting in the doorway.
Looks like he's
looking
trying
for
to
that
get
Death Blossom.
yeah, sneaky ult, and there's still some character swaps in the spawn on Violent Tendencies.
Morlock's just kind of slams into the roof. Augie gives himself away, goes in. Charges coming in from both teams. Big sound barrier catches all 6 members, but the graph comes in. Not able to follow up on it. Shatter comes in. Big 3-man Shatter. Gets stabbing, down goes Nexon. Antimatter able to turn this fight around, even though they did waste that grab early on in the fight.
And now they might just push them back into spawn and try to hold them here.
This is one fight territory for Antimatter. All they have to do is hold it right here, and this match will be theirs. Big Death Blossom on point. Does get booped off the map though, but that's the only kill Violent Tendency is getting right now. Marlax goes down 4% away from his ultimate. Nexon comes back.
The Hammond was hanging off the side of the map there. I was actually questioning whether he'd be able to get back onto the map.
And he does it again. He's not. He is able to touch, maybe. Oh, and he gets back up for the second time. Stabby falls off them.
Those are the real big plays. That's gonna be game for Antimatter.
I love this. Hey, Talon said he enjoys the casting. Well, thank you. Oh no.
Yeah.
Kate, I think you're gonna get banned.
That's a possibility.
Who are you saying fuck yourself to? Jack or
Yeah, that would be Jack.
Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
GG's to both teams.
Yeah, that was first game I've seen go to map 5, so
There's been a lot of map 5s.
yeah, I mean just not many since I've been in.
Oh my god, why does everyone have to be toxic in scrim chat afterwards? Oh, you're talking to Jack about. Oh, that's a yikes.
So, MVPs?
For. Ooh, that's a tough one. For Antimatter, especially on that last map, I think like Poggy did quite a lot for them. Got a couple of big Death Blossoms, couple of big barrages.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with both teams is definitely seems like there were different times where either team had a few different players that would pop off at different times. If I had to pick one
Falcon
from
and
either side, I
Warlocks
think,
for both.
yeah, Falcon and Morlocks were kind of bouncing back and forth with the bigger plays. I think I might choose Oof for or MJ for Antimatter, but both teams played as a unit really well, so it's hard to tell.
I think I agree on that oof pick. Sorry about any background noise that's coming through.
Well, all right. Thank you everyone for watching. That's going to be the end of week 6. It seems like I don't think we have any other games this week, so it's going to be Not Cade and signing off.